As we grow older, the effortless friendships of our youth face a relentless opponent, time. Between escalating career demands and the quiet accumulation of daily life admin, the energy required to maintain casual connections begins to evaporate. Look at this network model of adult social isolation. It illustrates what sociologists call the adult burnout vacuum. Notice how the central node represents an individual. When structural responsibilities, like relentless work deadlines or personal crises, pile up, the system actively severs the ties to peripheral social nodes. The stress isolates the person completely. This isolated node is exactly where we find Vikram on a Saturday evening. The pressure from a demanding office environment has collided with personal challenges. He is sitting alone in a dark room, overwhelmed by the accumulating pressure of this psychological vacuum. His response to this crisis is a single phone call to his oldest friend, Rahul. He doesn't explain the situation or list his problems. He simply says, "Macha, sigabe kittu." Dude, we need to meet. Rahul's reaction provides a contrast to Vikram's internal chaos. He asks zero questions. He doesn't ask for context, and he doesn't offer to schedule a time later in the week. He grabs his keys, gets in his car, and drives straight to Vikram's house. This willingness to show up creates the specific opening required to intervene in an adult crisis. By bridging the physical distance immediately and without demanding a logical explanation, Rahul bypasses the barriers that usually keep a burnt-out individual isolated. To escape the pressure of his apartment, they transition into a specific environment, the enclosed, intimate space of a car driving through the rain. The rhythm of the wipers and the glow of passing streetlights create a moving sanctuary. They take a deliberate sensory grounding action. Rahul pulls the car over next to a small roadside stall, and they order 2 hot cups of cutting chai. This diagram shows a psychological mechanism known as active decompression. The chaotic, tangled vector line represents Vikram's internal state. As he sits in the physical confinement and safety of the car, he begins to vocalize his repressed confusion. Passing through that stabilizing environment, the chaos unravels into a steady wave. Notice how a secondary wave enters the model and runs parallel to the first. This is Rahul's operational role. He avoids offering advice or trying to fix Vikram's problems. Instead, he acts as a non-judgmental auditory receptacle, matching his friend's wavelength without causing disruption. By speaking and being heard, Vikram experiences a tangible psychological release. The act of vocalizing the pain transfers the mental weight from his shoulders alone, distributing it between the two of them. Emotional sanctuaries are rarely defined by the sudden discovery of solutions. They are built on the shared, silent endurance of a problem within a secure space. Once that heavy emotional processing concludes, a distinct pivot occurs. The psychological weight visibly lifts, and for the first time all evening, a genuine smile returns to Vikram's face. Rahul notes this shift in Vikram's posture. Instead of lingering in the heaviness of the car, he initiates a complete change of scenery, proposing they celebrate this mental reset as a new beginning. The environment shifts from the quiet, dark isolation of the rain-soaked car to the vibrant neon lights and pulsing energy of a city pub. We are looking at a 2-chambered equilibrium model that demonstrates the concept of emotional elasticity. The system shifts the block from a dark processing chamber into a brightly lit celebration chamber. This illustrates the psychological necessity of moving from trauma processing back into active joy, ensuring the burnout cycle doesn't become a permanent baseline. The physical objects in their hands mirror this environmental shift. The small, hot cups of roadside tea are replaced by cold glasses of beer, culminating in a celebratory cheers. The hands that provide comfort during a storm must also possess the energy to celebrate the calm. Empathy without shared joy remains an incomplete equation. Stepping back from Rahul and Vikram's evening, this dynamic reveals something crucial about how we connect. There is a distinct asymmetry in modern relationships. Statistically, it is common to find acquaintances willing to occupy the pub space. Finding people to raise a glass and celebrate victories is a frequent occurrence. However, there is a scarcity of the car companion. Far fewer individuals are willing to endure the heavy and uncomfortable burden of sitting with you through your vulnerable moments. This visual represents the dual capacity bond. It occurs when an individual develops fluency in both the language of grief and the language of celebration, bridging the gap between our lowest and highest points. Take a moment to audit your own social circles. Look past the casual acquaintances and identify the individuals who are capable of authentically inhabiting both of these contrasting spaces with you. When you identify a person who will drink hot tea in a parked car to help you process your tears, and then raise a cold glass to honor your triumphs, you have found a significant life asset. Never let them go.